Hello and welcome to Credit 4, Algebra 1A, Linear and Statistical Models. All right, so the first activity is stating you have, let's pretend, $20,000 to purchase any car of your choice, new or used. So here are some to choose from. They range from $5,000 to about $17,000. Choose from one of the list, or you can kind of research your own. If you'd like. If you do research your own, you need the year, the make, the model, as well as what the horsepower is and the price. All right, so if you've chosen, you're going to write down on the space provided the make, model year, price, color. As you notice here, they're all kind of gray or white. So if you want to pick a color, you can. And then the horsepower. If you did research your own, make sure you're kind of printing out a picture of the car and placing that there. And then tell us why you like or what you like the most about your car. All right. And then once you're done with that, tell me how much you have left over. Remember, you had $20,000. So let me just circle that. You had $20,000 to spend. Pretty much if you spent, let's say, example, $12,000 on your car, essentially the difference would be $8,000. Because 12,000 plus 8,000 is 20,000. All right, if you're wondering, well, how could I figure that out if I didn't want to do that? You can always subtract the price of your car minus $20,000. All right, take a moment to pause if you need to. If at any point I go too fast, please feel free to pause. And unpause. So they give us a graph on the next page, and it says, find and circle the point for the vehicle you've selected. Is it above or below the line? So let's say, for example, I chose a 2009 Mazda. So on here, notice how they graph the horsepower and the price. So here that would be about there, since 212 is somewhere between 200 and 220. And then the price is about 9,000, which is somewhere between $10,000 and $8,000. And the point I chose was below the line. It says, in terms of horsepower, do you think, apologize for that, do you think you are getting a good value? Why or why not? Okay, so in terms of horsepower, that means so this one, notice how as horsepower kind of increases, the price is getting higher and higher. So if I can get something that's below that line, that's probably a good deal. But here's a kind of a sentence starter. It says, the higher the horsepower, the blank the price. So what do you notice about the price? So I think my car is a good or bad value because, so for me, I think the higher the horsepower, the higher the price. So I'm going to fill that in. Oh, my bad. Let's go back. We haven't finished that sentence. The higher the price. So I think my card is actually a good value because I'm paying a little less. And I say little because it's only a very little less than the trend here, the trend price. So the trend would be maybe I should pay a little bit more, closer to like $10,000 rather than $9,000. So I know that's not big of a difference, but hey, you know, saving money is awesome, no matter how small it is. All right, let's continue. So they say now circle a point that appears furthest below. So there's about 1, 2, 3, 4 points that are below the line. When they say furthest, that means the one that's lowest from the line. So this one is about that far from the line, that far from the line. This one's really close to the line. I can't even write. Yeah, there. It's really close. And then this one's all the way kind of down. All right. So which one seems to be the furthest down? there it is. That one would be the furthest one. And that one was the one that had like a 300 horsepower, but somewhere between 300 and 320. So I'm guessing about, hey, 320, 340, I guess that number right there, which was about, almost about $14,000. So we'll write the year, make, and model here, and then the price there. All right, so now having seen this data, did it change your mind on buying a car? So this is your opinion. Here's a sentence starter if you'd like, but it said, I can use this information to find a car with the most or least power for the blank price. So you can use my sentence starter. You can tell me if this graph at all changed your mind or not. It's up to you. If you'd like to use my sentence starter, it's there. But did it change your mind on buying a car? Because that's what data should do. It should help us kind of inform our decision making a little bit. All right, so pause here if you'd like, but I'm moving on to the engage activities. So we're going to go over your friends, mean, median, and mode. Some of you might find this familiar. So how do we find it? First of all, I'm going to take the numbers that they give us, and we're going to add them all up. So feel free to use a calculator if you need to, but go ahead and take a moment and add up all those numbers. The next thing you're going to do is divide by the number of numbers you added. So essentially that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers. So once we add up all our numbers, we're going to get an answer. And we're going to divide that by 8. So I got 156. We'll go ahead and divide, take a moment to divide that out. And that would be 19.5. So mode, it says what is the mode? So go ahead and take a moment and see which number appears the most. So I'm looking through these, I'm scanning. Let's see. Oh, I think, wait, 30 appears twice in the data. So, oh, there it is. Yes, thank you, computer. So the mode is 30. One student did ask, what if there is no mode? What if none of the numbers repeat? If there are no repeating numbers, then there is no mode. So if there are no repeating numbers, that's supposed to be the number symbol, there is no mode. All right. Next thing is we're going to find the median. So let me go ahead and erase some stuff because we need to find that median. And we're going to do that by ordering the numbers least to greatest. So take them right now. 4 is the smallest number. And kind of keep going to kind of order them from the smallest number to the biggest number. So that would be, hopefully you put this in this order. Okay. And then we find the median by essentially finding the number in the middle. So I'm going to kind of mark out the first and the last number. Second to first, second to last. I'll keep going. Now a lot of students say, well, how do I figure out, I mean, there's 2 numbers in the middle. What do I do? What we could do is say, okay, what number is between 19 and 21? So if you're like, how did you know it was 20? I could count. Or when students like, well, what if it's something different? What if, you know, it's something a little bit more complicated on the next problem that I have to do? I could go ahead and add 19 plus 21 and divide that by 2. So 19 plus 21 would be about 40. If I divide that by 2, hey, it is 20. So either way, either knowing that, you know, the number between them to the 19 and the 21 is 20, or adding them up and then dividing by 2. Either method is fine. Okay, and we'll be going over more of this, so if you're like, oh, this is not enough, I need more practice, you'll be getting plenty of practice in the first lesson. So here it says, are you ready? Number 10, scatter plots. So here you see that there are 3 different examples of scatter plots. One is a positive correlation. Notice how it keeps going up. A negative correlation and it keeps going down. And then no correlation where the dots just kind of appear like a big old blob. All right, so take a moment right now and looking at number 1 and number 2, make a decision on whether you think it's a positive correlation or a negative correlation. Same thing for number 2, a negative or positive correlation. If you need to, definitely write this down as a note. Some students did, and they get to use this on their for studying purposes, so it's very helpful. So, all right, and that was it. So we're going to move on to the next lesson 9.1. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.